AI can write essay, AI can create art, AI can even code. Everywhere you look, it's AI this, AI that. But today, we are taking it a step further. What if I told you, you can build your own AI-powered text-to-image generator website using Angular? That's right. Type in a description and boom, you get a stunning image all powered by AI. Now, a full disclaimer. I am no star coder. In fact, I am a total noob and I will be learning while creating this video side by side. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it. In this video, I will show you exactly how to build it, step by step. Whether you are a beginner or a pro, this tutorial is for you. At least that's what I believe. Let's dive in and see how this goes. So here is the plan. First step will be building a front end with Angular where user can input text. Second step will be passing the input text to an API that I currently have no idea about. And third step will be the API will return the generated image to the website. So let's start with our Angular project. If you don't have Angular CLI installed, go to your PowerShell or CMD and run command npm install -g and angular/CLI. This will install Angular CLI in your system. Now it's time to create our new Angular project. For opening terminal, you can use shortcut Ctrl+Tilde. This will open a terminal in your VS Code. Now in order to create a new project, you need to use command ng new and the name of the project. I will be calling my project name as text-to-image generator. Angular CLI is like a magic. It does all the heavy lifting for us, or at least that's what the documentation says. Now let's start with creating a new component. In order to create a component, you need to open this folder inside your terminal. For opening this, you can go to open in integrated terminal and you will get this file open in your terminal. In order to create a component, use a command ng gc and then component name. I will be naming this component as image generator. This will create a new component inside this app folder. Let's choose yes for now. As you can see that we got a new folder which contains 4 files. This spec.ts file is basically for testing, so we will not be needing this, so let's delete it. We will be working on this HTML and TS part. Now it's time to design the front end. We basically need a text box. As I mentioned before, herein user will write the description for the image. Then we need a button that will trigger the API call. And last we need a section to display the images. But before getting started, let's add the Bootstrap to our project. Bootstrap makes everything look good with minimal efforts. And by minimal efforts, I mean I don't have to write CSS from scratch. So let's add Bootstrap to our own project. For adding Bootstrap, I will be moving to our project. Let's open this src folder inside our terminal. For adding Bootstrap in Angular application, we need to use command npm install bootstrap. So let's run this command. This will add Bootstrap in our Angular application. And in order to use it, we have to put the location of Bootstrap in angular.json file. Inside angular.json file, you will find style section. Herein, you have to add location of that Bootstrap inside the style section. So let's add that. So let's verify the location first. Let's move out to our node modules folder. Inside node module, we need to go to Bootstrap. Inside Bootstrap, we have list folder. Inside list, we have CSS, and inside CSS, we have bootstrap.min.cs. Here you can see that this is the file we are looking for. So we have successfully added Bootstrap in our application, and now we can use Bootstrap in our Angular project. But before getting started, let's also install Bootstrap icons. So in order to install Bootstrap icons, we use command npm install bootstrap-icons. So let's use that command. This will add Bootstrap icons in Angular application. And in order to use it, we have to put the location of Bootstrap icons in angular.json file. Let's verify the location. Inside Bootstrap icons, we have font. We need to change this to font. And inside font, we have bootstrap icons.css. As you can see in the design, we have a header section. So let's create a separate component for header part. For creating the component, you already know the command. That is ng generate component, and let's add that component inside a common folder. So I will be creating a common folder, and inside that common folder I will be creating a header component. Here you can see that we have common folder, and inside common folder we have header. By mistake, we created both the components outside the app component. We need to put these components inside the app folder. So just drag and put it inside the app component. This is the default component provided by Angular. So this will work as a parent component, and inside that we have two child component. First is image generator and second is common component. Here also we will find this spec.ts file. We are not going to use it, so let's delete that. Now let's start it with creating a navigation bar. Let's move to header component.html. Let's start with creating a nav tag. So this is our header, guys. Now let's start working with the body part. For that, let's move to our image generator section. Inside the HTML, let's clear the HTML. For creating this design, we need a flexbox. So let's start by creating a flexbox. Okay guys, now let's check how does it look. Look at this guys, a clean, responsive UI ready to go. Now let's make it functional, or at least let's try it. Now here comes the most tricky part. We need an API to generate image from the text. The problem is I have no idea which one to use. So I am going to do what we all do when we are stuck. Obviously searching on YouTube. I will be typing best AI text to image generator. After scrolling through tons of content, I finally got something interesting. It talks about a website called Pick Lumen. Sounds fancy, right? Let's try it. But after checking the website, I came to know that this website doesn't provide public API. But just because they don't provide any public API doesn't mean we cannot use it. Time to put our detective hat and inspect the website like a pro. For doing so, you can use F12 button. This will open the website in inspect mode. Let's move to the network section. Let's clear it first. Let's write a new prompt. Let's send the prompt. As you can see that after sending the prompt, 3 APIs got called. First one is the create API, second one is batch process, and the third one is batch same task, and the fourth one is this one. If we check in the response, here you can see that here we got a mark ID. This mark ID is being used by this API also, and this one is also passed to this API, batch process same API, and the third one also using it, and at last the fourth one API is getting us the URL of the image. If we check this link, we are getting the image. Now here is the fun part. I will be passing this information to DeepSeek and ask it to write the code for me. So let's start by giving each detail to DeepSeek. So basically I give the complete detail what I wanted and waiting for the result. Okay guys, now we got the complete code. Let's follow what it says. So it is basically saying me to create a service. So let's create a service. In order to create a service, we need a command ng g generate. G stands for generate, S for service, and the service name. Let's give the same name as provided by DeepSeek. Let's run the command. Let's put this service inside app. Inside this service we have 2 files. One is for testing. We will not be working on this one. This is where we will be working on. So let's check the next step. We need to import HTTP client. This is basically used for API calling. Let's copy it. Let's copy the rest of the code. Let's replace this code. Okay, let's save it. Let's check the next step. So in the next step, it is telling us about how to use that service inside our component. So basically, in order to use the service inside our component, we need to do constructor injection. As you can see that here we have injected our service inside the constructor of our component. So let's do the same. Let's import it first. I am working on image generator component. So let's move to image generator component.ts. Let's import service. Let's do constructor injection. Now let's copy the rest of the code. This image URLs This array is for storing all the URL that we will be receiving from API. Let's copy this function. Let me rerun this Angular application. Let's test it out, guys. How about a futuristic city at sunset? Let's test it. Let's hit the send button. As you can see that first API ran. Here comes the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, and boom, guys. As you can see that we got the image. Now let's try something funny. How about a cat wearing a spacesuit? Let's send it. Here you can see the first API called, followed by second one, third one, and the fourth one, and here we got the image, guys. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, smash that like button and subscribe for more.